Welcome to the installation demo of OpenMEAP for Windows. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and download the software. Go ahead and click on the Windows download. Once the installer is done installing, it will actually install to a folder under C drive called OpenMEAP. Now, in this folder, you also have a quick start guide, which is what you'll use to install your prerequisites, which is Ivy, Tomcat 7, Apache, Ant, Java. And so when you have everything installed, you should be able to go ahead and go to your command line and type in ant-v, and that worked. And then java-version, and that worked. And that's how you know Java and Ant's installed. Once that's installed, you're going to want to go ahead and install the plugins in Eclipse. So go ahead and open up Eclipse, install Ivy, install AAT plugin, install the BlackBerry plugin, and then install the Google API. And if I go to Help, Install New Software, I've already installed the ADT, Ivy, BlackBerry. Next thing you want to do is you want to set your environment variables. So when you go to your Windows, Advanced Settings, Environment Variables, this is where you'll see your Apache Ant home you'll add your Java home path, OpenMEAP home path, and then you'll want to add Ant home and Java home to the path. Once that's all done, you'll probably want to close down your command prompt and open it back up. That way the settings will take effect where you can call those system variables we created. Once that's done, we have to go into set environment.bat and edit it. So go to Build Tools, Scripts, and edit set environment.bat. Now I've already pre-filled this out. This is my local environment. So all of these have to match your local environment, which they do. If you want to install this on other databases, working with MySQL, Oracle, etc., anything Hibernate supports, OpenMEAP supports, by default it uses a SQLite database. Now we'll move on to running the build. So for Windows, you're going to want to copy this, which will set your environment variable. Go to OpenMEAP Build Tools and run that command. That'll set the environment for what we just configured here. The next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and build the web properties. Ant dist-all web is the command. This will set up all your web projects and output all of the WAR files that you're going to need to deploy in a production environment or a QA environment in the dist folder of build tools, which is what we'll show you right here. So get a dist, you'll see the WAR files for the web app. Now what you want to do is you want to get the clients ready. So ant publish local slick core, and that'll set up all of your client side. Now you can use OpenMEAP for just the client side as well. You don't need to use the server, but what fun is that, Alright, so we now have the server side installed. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the slick folder. I'm going to remove these old projects here. We're going to go ahead and edit the client properties file, which is what I already did. Now if you want to manage multiple applications, what you want to do is you want to rename this properties file. So for this one it's client.properties, and I know this package name is called OpenMEAP. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that. And just put OM on it. So that way it's classified just for this package, so it's a separate app. Now if I wanted to create a separate app, I want to go in here and change this right here. It's the package naming scheme. And what that will do, it'll separate out the application versions in OpenMeep. So you can have multiple application icons on the device connecting to different ports and everything for your management. But for this demo, we're just going to go ahead and get this set up here. So now you just go to the Slick folder. You're going to want to go ahead and run that command again to set the environment. And then in your quick start guide, you're going to want to go down and use these commands here. So OM Android BAT for Windows. So this is going to create, in this folder here, you'll see the Android project be created. And the good thing about that is the Android project allows you to develop natively as well. So you can take our framework and add to it natively, still having code separated from content, where you can upload new versions of applications and have them present on the device, but still have the native functionality around it for the look and feel. So that's been created. We'll go ahead and do BlackBerry as well. It should create a BlackBerry project. Same thing. The output of the BlackBerry project has everything you need to run in the simulators and create apps for that. So once you're done with this process, you're ready to go ahead and get into the server, set up the server environment. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up Eclipse, and you're going to want to import the first project here. And we need to do this in order to set up our Ivy settings and our AMP properties. So you go ahead and point this to your computer, OpenMEAP, and what you're going to do is deselect all, click on Build Tools and hit Finish. Now from here, you have to set up some things. You want to go to Window Preferences, and then you want to go to Ant Runtime and Properties. Now, Ant Runtime Properties, you're going to need to set three things. It's Android SDK Home. You're going to need to point that to the folder. BlackBerry SDK Home, you're going to need to point that to your plugin folder. And then OpenMEAP Home, you're going to have to point that to OpenMEAP Home. For Ivy settings, open up your workspace. Go to your Build Tools folder and click on your Ivy settings.xml. And then for Properties file, you're going to want to go ahead and do the same thing. Add, Workspace, Build Tools, and then ant.properties, which is what I have here. The next thing you're going to want to do, which will finalize this effort here, is go to Server Runtime Environments, and you're going to add Apache Tomcat 7. So when you add Apache Tomcat 7, it'll ask you what installation directory is it from, and I've already downloaded it, so I pointed it there, and hit Finish. So now from the settings, you're set up to go ahead and import everything else and build. So we'll go ahead and build tools. Then we're going to go ahead and import the rest here. And deselect all and just select shared JDK, and shared server side first. Ivy's going to resolve everything. You're going to go ahead and build from top to bottom here. OpenMeAP shared JDK, and server side. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and import again the rest of the web projects, which will be deselect admin web, admin services. Now you can add the banking web as for our sample banking application. It's a web service sample that you can extend on for your own application efforts, but we're going to go ahead and select all three, but you don't have to. If you, let's just say you're going to build into your own web services, you don't need to actually deploy that. You're going to go ahead and build admin web. You're going to build services web. And if you have it, you'll build banking web. Now banking web, you'll export this as a WAR file and deploy this the same way. When you export this, it'll export it into your dist folder. Now we're going to import the client side. We're going to import Slick Core, BlackBerry, and Android. Now, of course, if you're not using BlackBerry, then you don't need it. But for Android, you'll need Slick Core and build your Android. Now, for BlackBerry, there's a couple things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go to your properties. You're going to have to go to your build path. You're going to need to add in the external jar as per the directions to your plugins folder to the lib folder and the components. That's where you're going to have that. The JRE system library, you're going to have to edit this, go and change the execution environment to J2SE 1.5. And then also for projects, you're going to want to add projects, and these projects are shared JDK 5 and Slick Core. These items are required. Once you're done with that and you hit OK, you should be able to go ahead and build the BlackBerry project. The next step in this process is to go ahead and import the app that you just built. So click on Android, existing code into workspace, next. We'll browse our computer for the Slick folder, which has our app Android test app. Go ahead and click finished. Main activity, we're going to go ahead and build. And we want to go ahead and make sure we have our simulator working, which is you want to use the Google APIs 2.2, so we know that's there. And we'll go ahead and just clean these three. Now if you want to go ahead and change items like the icon that comes up, which is the OpenMEAP icon, you'll want to change this here. Now the next thing, once all this is done, we're going to go ahead and create a server. So we're going to go to Window, Show View, Other, and pull in the server. Alright, we're going to add a new server. It's Tomcat 7, localhost. We'll go ahead and add the web projects, hit finished. Go ahead and clean. And you can go ahead and hit start. Alright, so now you can go ahead and log in with admin OpenMEAP, and if that doesn't work, you need to make some changes. And the changes you need to make, which is adding in Tomcat users. So go back in and edit Tomcat users, and in the instructions we have, we tell you to add these roles right here. Of course you can create your own. Of course you're going to want to change your password instead of admin OpenMEAP, but that's how we logged in here today. So the server's up and running. You're going to go to settings. Now for this, it's your local IP address. So it's that's my local. And then this will be your directory here. So we have a directory in OpenMEAP we'll make a new directory called apps. And we'll use that directory for our file path, just for local. And this we can set to localhost as well. Alright, all these settings are saved. You can go to applications. Now I already have a bunch of applications listed here, but what you'll want to do is you'll want to go ahead and create an application. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down the server real quick and just show you what it looks like from your perspective. So by default, it creates a OpenMEAP database in your temp folder here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that. That way it'll create a new database for us to use. And I'm going to go ahead and start the server. Alright, so let's check this out here and see if it's back to original installation here. Settings. Okay, so yep, there's nothing here at all. So for settings, we want the external path. For file storage, we made a directory called OpenMEAP apps, and we'll use localhost for here. Now again, this is cluster node, so you can cluster this across many servers by adding them here. But for now, since we're localhost, we'll keep it just like this. But if you want to add some, you go ahead and add as many as you want. If you have a on-prem solution, cloud solution, whatever, you can go ahead and point this to those locations for clustering. We'll go ahead and save this. Now we'll go to applications. Nothing here. So you're going to add application. We're going to call this OpenMEAP. Now this needs to match exactly what you had in your client properties file. We're using OpenMEAP right here. And so if you have another app you create that's called, new app 1, you'll want to add a new app and call it new app 1. For target version, we just use 0.11a, and then go ahead and just put like 1,000 or 10,000, it doesn't matter, for deployment history length. And that'll create your server app. And so what we'll do is we'll add a version to that though. We'll call it welcome, and we'll browse the OpenMEAP folder. There's a default app in here under samples, welcome zip. You go ahead and upload that, and that'll be your first application that you'll deploy. So you go ahead and click here and go ahead and do an immediate deployment, and that way when you have your clients that connect, it'll automatically receive this update here. Now we're going to go ahead and bring this up in the simulator. So what you should see, if you installed everything correctly, is you should see the standard application that says powered by OpenMEAP, and then it'll make a call to the server, and the server is going to tell the client, hey, there's an immediate update, and you should see the welcome app that we just uploaded. Now with the admin interface, you can install a lot of these sample apps we have here on the dashboard. You can use any framework, Sencha, jQuery Mobile, all that good stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and test this out and see if it worked. There's OpenMEAP. Oops. Alright, there you go. This was the latest version on the server, and we'll verify that by going into Applications, going into Version Listings, and clicking on Web View. That concludes our installation. If you need any more help, you can go to our forum. We also have YouTube, which is this video here, and we have a wiki. Thank you for your time.